I had my whole life planned out differently than this. Sit in the rocking chair my mother bought me. Feed River while he makes those little satisfied sounds. These are the moments that make it worth it. Him, not the situation. Definitely not Dante. Think about how I got here. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I've always been the one calling out inequality at work. I'm the one who points out when women are talked over in meetings. I notice things other people don't want to see, like how our female creative director gets called emotional, but when Marcus throws a fit about client feedback, he's passionate. I've never been afraid to speak up. Sent a company-wide email last year about the pay gap, after I found out Trevor made $15,000 more than me for the same position, got a raise. Also got a reputation as difficult. Whatever. I've never needed anyone's approval. At least, that's what I tell myself. River finishes his bottle. I burp him. He spits up on my shoulder. Add it to the collection of stains. I haven't worn clean clothes in 3 days. There's a mountain of laundry in the bathroom. Dante walked past it 6 times yesterday. Didn't touch it. I asked him nicely to throw in a load. He said, yeah, in a bit. That was 2 days ago. Put River back in his crib. He's drowsy now. He'll sleep maybe 2 hours if I'm lucky. Crawl back into bed next to Dante. He's sprawled across 3/4 of the mented mattress. My back is killing me from sleeping on the edge. Lie there, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the comments my friends made when I announced I was pregnant. Their faces when I told them who the father was. Jessica actually said, "Are you sure about this?" I got defensive, said she was being judgmental, said something about how women are allowed to make their own choices, how we don't need to justify our relationships to anyone, how there's nothing wrong with being a single mother if it comes to that. Jessica just nodded and changed the subject. I was so self-righteous, so fucking certain. The thing is, I knew Dante wasn't perfect. I'm not an idiot. I knew he had a record, possession with intent to distribute. Did 8 months, 3 years ago. But people can change, right? People deserve second chances. That's what I told myself. Told everyone else too. My sister tried to talk to me about it. I shut her down, said she was being classist, said the criminal justice system is racist and unfair, which it is. But that doesn't mean Dante isn't also a lazy piece of shit. Both things can be true. I met him at a bar 14 months ago. I'd just gotten promoted, was out celebrating with coworkers. He was playing pool with his friends, covered in tattoos, motorcycle helmet on the bar. Exactly the kind of guy I always said I'd never date. I'd spent my 20s dating nice guys. Guys with stable jobs and 401 KS. Guys who texted back promptly and remembered birthdays. Matthew the accountant, David the software engineer, Christopher the physical therapist. All of them boring as hell. All of them intimidated by my success. Matthew literally told me I was too much, too opinionated, too intense, too focused on my career. David couldn't handle that I made more money. Christopher wanted me to be more domestic, so I wrote off that whole category of men, convinced myself they were all secretly misogynists. Which, maybe they were. But at least they would probably help with the fucking laundry. Dante seemed different. He didn't care about my career. Didn't ask what I did for work until our 3rd date. Didn't seem intimidated by anything. Confident, assertive, dominant. The sex was incredible. He'd show up at midnight on his motorcycle. We'd fuck until 3 a.m. and he'd leave. No expectations, no pressure. He never asked to meet my friends or family. Never wanted to do couple things. It felt liberating. I wrote a whole post on social media about it, about how women don't need traditional relationships, how we can have casual sex without catching feelings, how independence means not needing a man to fit into some prescribed role. Got like 300 likes. Felt very enlightened. Then I missed my period. Took 3 tests, all positive. Sat on my bathroom floor having a complete meltdown. I had options, obviously. I've always been pro-choice. Donated to Planned Parenthood every year. Gone to marches. But when it was me, sitting there with those positive tests, I couldn't do it. Wanted this baby. Wanted to be a mother. Called Dante, told him to come over. He showed up 4 hours later, smelling like weed. I told him I was pregnant. He went pale, like actually lost color in his face. Asked what I was going to do. I said I was keeping it. He said, "Okay," in this flat voice. Then asked if I was sure it was his. I lost my shit, screamed at him for 20 minutes. He just sat there taking it. Finally, he said he'd step up, said he'd be there for me and the baby. I wanted to believe him so badly, needed to believe him. Because the alternative was admitting I'd fucked up, admitting Jessica and my sister and everyone else had been right. My pride wouldn't let me do that. So, I believed him. Posted online about my pregnancy journey. Framed it as a choice. Empowerment. Got so many supportive comments from other women talking about their own experiences with single motherhood. But I wasn't single, I emphasized. Dante and I were together. We were doing this as a team. Just not getting married because marriage is a patriarchal institution anyway. I actually believed that. Still do, kind of. But also, Dante never asked. Never even hinted at it. He moved in during my second trimester. I asked him to. Said it made sense, since he was always here anyway. Said we should start building our family home. He agreed easily. Too easily. Should have been a red flag. He didn't bring much stuff. Some clothes, his gaming setup, motorcycle gear. No furniture. No household items. Nothing. I'd already furnished the whole apartment. Bought everything from IKEA and assembled it myself. Well, my dad helped. Dante watched. At the time, I told myself it was fine. I'm independent. I can build furniture. I don't need a man to do things for me. But it would have been nice if he offered. He never offers. Anything. The pregnancy was hard. I had morning sickness until month 6. Threw up every morning before work. Dante slept through it. Every single time. I'd be in the bathroom puking my guts out. He'd be snoring in bed. I'd come out and he'd still be asleep. I wouldn't wake up until noon. By then, I'd been at work for 4 hours. He was looking for jobs. That's what he said he was doing all day. Playing video games was more like it. I'd come home and he'd be exactly where I left him. On my couch, playing my PlayStation. Eating food I bought. Drinking beer I didn't buy. Where did he get money for beer if he didn't have a job? I was afraid to ask. Didn't want to know. My friends started coming around less. They'd make excuses not to hang out, especially at my place. Jessica came over once during my 3rd trimester. Dante was there, playing video games. Didn't get up to say hi, just nodded in her direction. She and I talked in the kitchen. I could see her looking at him, judging. I got defensive before she even said anything. Started talking about how tired he was from job hunting, how hard it was for people with records to find employment, how the system was stacked against people like him. She just nodded. We haven't been as close since. I tell myself it's because she's judgmental, but maybe it's because I'm lying to myself and she can see it. Labor was 22 hours. Dante was there for most of it. Left twice to get air. Came back smelling like cigarettes. The nurses kept giving him looks. One of them asked if I wanted him to leave. I said no. Said he was my partner, my support. He held my hand during the worst contractions. Scrolled through his phone with the other hand. When River was born, he cried. Actual tears. I thought maybe this would change things. Maybe fatherhood would flip some switch in him. We brought River home, and reality hit. Newborns are fucking hard. I knew they would be, but knowing and experiencing are different. River cried constantly. Wouldn't sleep unless he was being held. I was recovering from birth, bleeding, in pain, trying to figure out breastfeeding. My nipples cracked and bled. Every feeding was agony. Dante couldn't help with that, obviously, but he could have helped with everything else. He didn't. I'd ask him to change a diaper. He'd say, "In a minute." An hour later, the diaper still wouldn't be changed. I'd end up doing it myself. I'd ask him to watch River while I showered. He'd agree. I'd come out 15 minutes later to River screaming in his bassinet. Dante with headphones on, gaming. I didn't hear him. How do you not hear a screaming baby? The neighbors 3 doors down can hear him. Night feedings were all me. Every single one. Dante sleeps like the dead. Or pretends to. I suspect pretends. I'd nudge him when River cried at night. Nothing. Shake him. Nothing. Once I literally yelled his name. He grunted and rolled over. So, I get up. Every night. Multiple times. I'm running on maybe 3 hours of sleep a night, broken into 30-minute increments. I went back to work at 8 weeks. Had to. For the insurance and money. We're living on my salary. Alone. Daycare costs $1,600 a month. It's more than my car payment. I suggested Dante watch River during the day, since he's home anyway. He said he couldn't. Said he needed to focus on job hunting. What fucking job hunting? He hasn't sent out a single application. I know because I check. I set up an Indeed account for him. 0 activity. But I can't say anything. Because then I'm a nag. I'm controlling. I'm not being supportive. So I pay for daycare. Drop River off at 7 a.m. Pick him up at 5:30 p.m. Come home to Dante on the couch. Apartment a mess. Dishes in the sink. Trash overflowing. I try not to say anything. Try to be calm. Ask nicely if he could help out. He says he will. He doesn't. My mom came to visit last month. She took one look at the situation and pulled me aside. Honey, what are you doing? I got defensive. Said I was handling it. Said Dante was going through a transition. Said I didn't need her judgment. She just hugged me, which made it worse. Would rather she yelled. The money situation is getting desperate. I make good money, but not enough for everything. Rent, utilities, daycare, food, diapers, formula. River's on formula now because my milk dried up. Probably from stress and exhaustion. Felt like a failure about that too. Formula is expensive as hell. Dante gets $400 a month in some kind of assistance. Disability or unemployment or something. I don't even know. He's supposed to use it for River. It's technically child support from the state. He buys beer and cigarettes. I found the receipts. $87 at the liquor store. $45 at the gas station for cigarettes. $120 at some place. I don't even know. I confronted him about it. He said he needed to decompress. Said being a father was stressful. Stressful. He thinks it's stressful. He doesn't do a fucking thing. I do everything. All the night wakings, all the feedings, all the diaper changes, all the doctor appointments, all the worrying, all the work, all the bills, all the responsibility. He plays video games and drinks beer, but he's stressed. I wanted to scream. Instead, I said we needed to budget better. He agreed. Nothing changed. I'm sitting here at 3:47 a.m. River's back to sleep finally. Dante's still snoring. My alarm goes off in 2 hours. I have a presentation at 9 a.m. Haven't finished preparing because I spent last night doing laundry and dishes. The laundry Dante was supposed to do. I'm so tired I could cry. Actually, I am crying. Silent tears running down my face in the dark, thinking about all the choices that led me here. All the warning signs I ignored. All the times I prioritized my pride over my reality. I was so convinced I was different. So sure I was smarter than other women who ended up in this situation. I'm not different. I'm exactly the same. Fell for exactly the same shit. The confidence, the excitement, the danger, mistook indifference for independence. Mistook unavailability for mysterious. Mistook irresponsibility for carefree. And now I'm here, exhausted, broke, doing everything alone, while he lives in my home, eats my food, ignores his child. The worst part is, I still can't leave him. Not won't, can't. Because that would mean admitting defeat, admitting I was wrong, admitting everyone else was right. My family, my friends, everyone who raised an eyebrow, everyone who tried to warn me. I shut them all down, lectured them about judgment and choice and independence, posted online about how women can do it all, how we don't need traditional partnerships, how relationships can look different. Got all those likes and supportive comments. Felt so validated. But validation doesn't change diapers. Validation doesn't pay bills. Validation doesn't wake up for night feedings. I created this narrative and now I'm trapped in it. I can't admit it's not working, without admitting I was wrong, without admitting that maybe, just maybe, some of those boring nice guys had something to offer. Stability, partnership, actual help. I think about Matthew sometimes, the accountant who was too boring. He wanted to settle down, buy a house. Talked about his 401k and retirement plans. I thought it was unsexy. Now I'm drowning in debt and think about retirement accounts longingly. David, the software engineer. He was intimidated by my salary. But he had his own career, his own money. Never would have spent my child support on beer. Christopher wanted me to be more domestic. But he also cooked dinner every night. Meal prepped on Sundays. Would have probably helped with a baby. I rejected all of them for being too traditional, too patriarchal in their expectations. Chose Dante instead, because he had no expectations. Turns out, no expectations goes both ways. He doesn't expect anything from me, but he also doesn't offer anything. Doesn't expect commitment, doesn't offer it. Doesn't expect support, doesn't offer it. Doesn't expect partnership, doesn't offer it. I'm in this completely alone. More alone than if I were actually single, because at least if I were single, I wouldn't have another adult to take care of. Dante's like a second child, except River is less demanding. River cries when he needs something. Dante just takes and never asks. The apartment is in my name. All the bills are in my name. His name is on nothing except River's birth certificate, and he acted like I was forcing him when I asked him to come to the hospital to sign it. Said he'd do it later. I had to basically drag him there. River's middle name is supposed to be James, after my grandfather. Dante insisted on Michael, after his uncle who's in prison. I was so exhausted from birth, I just agreed. River Michael instead of River James. Now every time I say my son's full name, I think about that. Another thing I gave up. Another compromise that wasn't really a compromise. Just me giving in. The sky is starting to get light. 5 a.m. Dante shifts in bed. His arm flops over onto my side. Heavy and dead. I move it off me. He doesn't wake up. I get up. Might as well. Not going to sleep anymore anyway. Go check on River. He's sleeping peacefully. His little face, so perfect and innocent. He didn't ask for this. Didn't ask for a father who ignores him. Didn't ask for a mother who's too proud to fix the situation. I lean over and kiss his forehead. He smells like baby lotion and milk. My heart physically aches. I love him so much, it's terrifying. Would do anything for him. Except apparently leave his father. Except apparently admit I made a mistake. Go to the kitchen, make coffee. Check my phone. Text from my boss from last night I didn't see. Asking if the presentation is ready. Fuck, it's not. I'll have to finish it at the office. Get there early, work on it before the meeting, text back all set, even though it's a lie. Add lying to my list of accomplishments. Scroll through social media while the coffee brews. See a post from a friend from college. She just got engaged. Big ring, happy couple photos. Her fiancé is a teacher. Stable, normal, boring. She looks so happy. I feel this ugly jealousy. Hate myself for it. Close the app. Post a picture from last week instead. One I took of River smiling. Caption it something about motherhood being beautiful. About how my son is my world. All true, but not the whole truth. Don't post about being awake since 3 a.m. Don't post about the bills I can't pay. Don't post about Dante snoring while I solo parent. Don't post about regretting my choices. Just the curated version, the version that supports my narrative. Independent woman, doing it all, empowered single mother, except I'm not single. That's the thing. I'm not single, but I have all the responsibility, none of the support. Hear Dante's alarm go off in the bedroom. He set it for 6 a.m. months ago. Back when he claimed he was going to start looking for jobs, he hit snooze. We'll hit it 4 more times. Won't actually get up until 11 am. I used to wake him up, try to encourage him to be productive. He'd get annoyed. Say I was nagging. So I stopped. Now I just let him sleep. Easier that way. Fewer arguments. River starts fussing. He's awake. I go get him, change his diaper. Dante's diaper change count this week. 0. Mine. Approximately 50. Bring River to the kitchen. Put him in his bouncer while I make his bottle. He's happy in the mornings. Smiles at me with his gummy smile. It makes everything worth it. Him, not the situation. Never the situation. Feed him his bottle. He grabs my finger while he eats. His tiny hand wrapped around my finger. I'm doing this for him. I tell myself that. Staying with Dante is for River. Boys need their fathers. Even useless fathers. Even fathers who don't change diapers or wake up at night. Even fathers who spend child support on beer. At least he's here. Except he's not really. Being physically present isn't the same as being here. I know that. But admitting it means making hard choices. Means blowing up my life. Means admitting failure. My phone buzzes. Text from my sister. Coffee this week? We haven't talked in a month, since the last time she tried to ask me about my situation. I deflected, changed the subject. She looked hurt. I felt guilty, but not guilty enough, to be honest. I text back, sure, I'll check my schedule. Won't follow up. Easier to avoid her than to lie to her face, than to see the concern in her eyes. I told you so, she's too nice to say. River finishes his bottle. I burp him. He spits up on me. Change my shirt. 4th shirt in 24 hours. Get him dressed for daycare. Get myself ready for work. Makeup to cover the exhaustion. Professional clothes that are getting loose. I've lost 15 pounds since River was born. Not in a good way. In a too stressed to eat way. People at work compliment me. Say I look great. I say thank you. Don't mention it's from anxiety and exhaustion. Dante emerges from the bedroom at 6:45 a.m., surprisingly early for him. He's in his boxers, scratching his stomach. Walks right past me and River. Goes to the fridge, gets a beer. A beer at 6:45 a.m. I watch him crack it open. Want to say something. Don't. What's the point? He'll get defensive, or ignore me. Either way, nothing will change. River has a doctor appointment at 3 p.m. tomorrow, I say. Dante grunts. Can you take him? I have meetings all afternoon. I might have something, he says. You don't have anything, I think. You never have anything. Please, I say. I took him to the last 4 appointments. Yeah, fine, he says. He won't. I know he won't. Tomorrow, at 2:30 p.m., I'll text him a reminder. He won't respond. I'll have to leave work early. Reschedule my meetings. Take River myself. This is our pattern. He agrees to things he won't do. I pretend to believe him. We both participate in the lie. I'm going to be late tonight. I say, the presentation runs until 6 p.m. Okay, he says, eyes on his phone. Can you pick up River from daycare? He looks up, annoyed. I don't have the car seat. It's in my car. You can take my car. I have to move it to my bike? He says this like I'm asking him to move a mountain. Just take my car, I say, fighting to keep my voice level. I don't like driving your car. He likes my car fine when he needs to go somewhere. He wants to go. When his friend texts about hanging out. Suddenly knows how to drive it then. Dante, I need you to pick up our son from daycare. Why can't you leave early? I have a presentation, I told you. He sighs heavily. Like I'm inconveniencing him. Like picking up his own child is some huge burden. Fine, he says. He won't. I know he won't. I'll end up calling my mom, asking her to get River, making up some excuse for why Dante can't. She'll do it because she loves River. But I'll hear the disappointment in her voice. The unspoken, I told you so. I gather my stuff, gather River. Dante's already back on the couch. Beer in hand, controller in the other. It's not even 7 a.m. There's leftovers in the fridge for lunch, I say. Cool, he says. Not. Looking up. And the trash needs to go out. Yeah. The trash will still be there when I get home. I leave with River. Strap him into his car seat. He babbles happily. Doesn't know anything's wrong. Doesn't know his father doesn't give a shit. Drive to daycare, my mind racing. Thinking about money. The credit card bill is due next week. $3,200. Don't have it. I'll have to put it on another card. The debt keeps growing. I'm drowning. Think about my job. I'm good at what I do, but I'm slipping. Too tired, too distracted. My boss mentioned it last week. Said I seemed stressed. Asked if everything was okay at home. I said fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. The number of times I say I'm fine inversely correlates with how fine I actually am. Drop River at daycare. He goes happily to his teacher. Doesn't cry anymore when I leave. I should be glad. Instead, I feel guilty. Guilty that he's there 10 hours a day. Guilty that I'm not home with him. But I have to work. We need the money. Dante certainly isn't providing any. Get to the office at 7:45 a.m. Early enough to work on the presentation. My coworker Tom is already there. Early bird, he says cheerfully. Big presentation, I say. Want me to look at it? I'm good, thanks. Tom's a nice guy. Married, 2 kids. Always showing pictures of family stuff. His wife is a stay-at-home mom. I used to think that was anti-feminist. Now I'm jealous. Imagine having a partner who provides, who takes care of things, who's actually a partner. Work on the presentation. It's not my best work, but it's done. 9 a.m. meeting. I present. It goes okay. My boss seems satisfied. Afterwards, she asks to talk to me. My stomach drops. Everything okay? She asks. Yeah, of course. You just seem tired. New baby. I say, forcing a smile. I remember those days. She says, my husband and I were zombies for months. My husband and I. She had a partner. Someone who shared the load. Must be nice. It gets easier, she says. Does it though? Or does it just get different? Thanks, I say, back at my desk, trying to focus. Get a text from Dante. Out of cigarettes. That's it. That's the text. Not asking, informing, expecting me to do something about it. I don't respond. 10 minutes later, another text. Can you grab some on your way home? I'm working. Supporting our family. And he wants me to buy him cigarettes. With money I earn. While he sits home, doing nothing. No. I text back. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Seriously? Buy them yourself, I type. With what money? With the $400 you get every month that's supposed to be for River. With money you could earn if you got a fucking job. I don't type any of that. Just don't respond. He'll pout about it later. Give me the silent treatment, which honestly sounds great right now. Work through lunch. Trying to catch up on everything I'm behind on. My performance review is next month. I'm terrified. I used to be a star employee. Now I'm just trying to survive. Trying to not get fired. My phone rings. Daycare. My heart stops. Hi, this is Jenny from Little Sprouts. Is everything okay? River's fine, but he has a fever. Fuck. You need to come get him. Of course I do. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Hang up, close my laptop. Tell my boss I have to leave. Family emergency. She looks annoyed but nods. I'm using up all my goodwill. All my sick days. All my flexibility. Drive to daycare. Mind spiraling. River has a fever. Is it serious? Does he need a doctor? How much will that cost? Can I take him to urgent care? Or does it need to be the ER? Why didn't Dante answer when I called? Oh, right, because he's useless. Get to daycare. River's fussy, but not screaming. Teacher says he's been cranky all morning. Temp is 100.2. Not terrible, but high enough they can't keep him. Take him home. Dante's on the couch. Of course he is. I come in with River. He's sick, I say. Dante glances over. That sucks. Goes back to his game. I had to leave. Work. Okay. He doesn't offer to help. Doesn't offer to hold River. Doesn't ask what's wrong. I take River to the bedroom. Give him infant Tylenol. Rock him while he cries. Text my boss that I won't be back today. She doesn't respond. Not a good sign. Sit there for an hour, holding my sick baby. Thinking about my life. Thinking about my choices. Thinking about how I got here. I was so smart, so educated, so aware. Saw sexism everywhere. Called it out. Fought against it. But somehow missed it in my own relationship. Missed that I was doing everything. Missed that I was being used. Or maybe I didn't miss it. Maybe I saw it and ignored it. Told myself it was different. Told myself I was choosing this. Choosing to be independent. Choosing to not need help. But there's a difference between not needing help and not getting it. Between choosing independence and having independence forced on you. I didn't choose this. I chose Dante. And Dante chose to do nothing. River falls asleep in my arms. His fever's coming down. He'll be okay. Will I, though? How long can I keep this up? Working full-time? Parenting full-time? Paying for everything, while Dante contributes nothing. My resentment is growing. Used to be small, manageable. Now, it's consuming. I look at him and feel anger. He's in the living room, playing video games. Our son is sick, and he's playing video games. I'm missing work, risking my job, and he can't even pause his game. Can't even ask if we need anything. Can't even pretend to care. When did I become this person? When did I become someone who accepts this? I used to have standards. I used to have boundaries. Where did they go? Eroded slowly. Compromise by compromise. Each one small enough to justify. He's tired from job hunting. He's stressed about money. He's adjusting to fatherhood. All excuses. All bullshit. He's not doing any of those things. He's just lazy. And I'm enabling it. By paying for everything. By doing everything. By not demanding more. By not leaving. There it is. The thought I keep avoiding. Leaving. Should I leave him? Kick him out? Be an actual single mother instead of a pretend partnered one? The thought is terrifying. Not because I'd be alone. I'm already alone. But because it means admitting failure. Means everyone was right. Means I was wrong. My pride is literally keeping me in a bad situation. How fucked up is that? How feminist is that? Staying with a man who contributes nothing because I'm too proud to admit I made a mistake. Pretty sure that's the opposite of feminism. River stirs in my arms, looks up at me with his big eyes. He's the only good thing to come from this. The only thing I don't regret. He deserves better. Deserves a mother who's not exhausted and resentful. Deserves a father who actually parents. Deserves stability. What he has is chaos. A mother spread too thin. A father who doesn't care. An apartment filled with tension. I can give him better. I know I can. Just me. Without Dante. Would be easier actually. One less person to take care of. One less mouth to feed. Okay, not feed. Dante feeds himself. My food, but still. One less person taking up space. One less source of disappointment. Could move somewhere smaller, cheaper. Just me and River. Could maybe afford it on just my salary if I wasn't supporting Dante too. The thought feels like relief, like a weightlifting. Maybe I could actually do it. Leave him. The question is, when and how, and whether I can actually follow through, or whether I'll chicken out. Make more excuses. Let more time pass. Let the situation get worse. My phone buzzes. Text from Dante. Going to Jake's. Jake, his friend from before. The one who also has a record. The one who's definitely not a good influence. River's sick, I text back. Yeah, I know, you said. So, you're leaving? You're home with him. I'm home because I had to leave work. Because you couldn't be bothered. I might go back to the office. I won't, but he doesn't need to. Know that. River needs someone here. So stay. The audacity. The fucking audacity. I'm about to text back something angry. But I hear the front door open and close. He left. Didn't even wait for a response. Just left. Our son is sick, and he left to hang out with his friend. I sit there in shock. Shouldn't be shocked. This is exactly who he is. Who he's always been. I just kept making excuses. Kept thinking he'd change. Kept thinking fatherhood would change him. It didn't. Nothing will, because he doesn't want to change. He's perfectly happy with this arrangement. Gets to live rent-free. No responsibilities. No expectations. Gets to do whatever he wants. While I handle everything. Why would he change? There's no incentive. No consequences. I've created this situation by accepting it, by not demanding more, by not following through on boundaries. This is on me as much as him. River's fully asleep now. I put him in his crib, go to the living room, look around at the mess. Dante's beer cans on the coffee table, his shoes in the middle of the floor, his jacket thrown over my chair, his shit everywhere. In my apartment that I pay for. I start cleaning up his mess, then stop. Why am I doing this? Why am I cleaning up after a grown man? I leave it, go to the kitchen instead. Open my laptop, start looking at apartments, 1-bedrooms, just for me and River. Cheaper than what I have now. More than doable on my salary alone if I'm not supporting Dante. Find a few possibilities. Save them. Not ready to apply yet, but getting there. Thinking about it. Planning. That's something. Hear my phone ring. It's Dante. I don't answer. He can wait. He calls again. I answer. What? Can you come get me? What? Where are you? Jake's car broke down. I need a ride home. Take an Uber. With what money? With the money you spent on beer. With the money you were supposed to use for diapers. I'm with River. He's sick, remember? He's sleeping though, right? That doesn't mean I can leave him alone, Dante. Just bring him. He has a fever. So, the car ride won't hurt him. I cannot believe this conversation. No, I say. Seriously? Seriously. Figure it out yourself. I hang up. He calls back. I decline it. Text me. This is fucked up. I need a ride. You left when our son was sick to hang out with your friend. Now you're on your own. He doesn't respond. Good. I'm shaking. Adrenaline from standing up to him. From saying no. Feels good. Feels scary. Feels like the beginning of something. River sleeps for 2 hours. Wakes up feeling better. Fever's down. He's smiling again. I feed him, play with him, give him a bath. He loves baths. Splashes and laughs. These moments make everything worth it. Dante comes home at 8 p.m. Don't know how he got home. Don't care. He's pissed. I can tell by his energy. Storms into the apartment. Doesn't say hi. Goes straight to the bedroom. Slams the door. Fine by me. Less I have to deal with him. Put River to bed. At 8:30 p.m., he goes down easy tonight. Tired from being sick. I sit in the living room. The apartment is quiet. Dante's still in the bedroom. I check my email. Message from my boss. Let's talk tomorrow about your schedule. My stomach drops. This is it. This is the conversation where she tells me I'm not cutting it. Where I lose my job. All because I'm doing everything alone. All because Dante won't help. Won't step up. Won't be a partner. I feel panic rising. I can't lose this job. We need the money. Need the insurance. What will I do? Then I remember, we don't need the money. I need the money. Dante contributes nothing. If anything, I'd have more money without him. This realization hits hard. I'm not supporting a family, I'm supporting a deadbeat, who gives me nothing in return. Not help, not companionship, not support. Nothing. Just takes up space and resources. The bedroom door opens. Dante comes out. Still looks pissed. That was really shitty of you, he says. What was? Leaving me stranded. I didn't leave you stranded. You left. I just went to hang out with Jake for a bit. Our son was sick, and you were home with him, because I had to leave work. So? You're always complaining about work anyway. I stare at him. This man, this absolute child. Get out, I say. The words surprise me as much as him. What? Get out of my apartment. Are you serious right now? Completely serious. Where am I supposed to go? I don't care. Jake's, your mom's. I don't care. You can't just kick me out. It's my apartment, my name on the lease. I live here. Not anymore. He looks shocked, then angry. This is about the ride? Are you kidding me? It's about all of it. All of what? You don't work. You don't help with River. You don't contribute. I contribute. How? How do you contribute? He doesn't have an answer. You spend River's support money on beer and cigarettes. You play video games all day. You've never once woken up for a night feeding. You ignore your son. You live here rent-free and do nothing. I'm done. Saying it out loud feels powerful. I'm done. I am done. You're overreacting, he says. Classic. I'm not overreacting. If anything, I've been underreacting for months. Pack your stuff, I say. Tonight. It's almost 9 p.m. Then you better hurry. He stands there, trying to figure out if I'm serious. I am. I'm more serious than I've been about anything. Fine, he says finally. Fuck this anyway. Goes to the bedroom. I hear him throwing stuff around. Don't care. I sit on the couch. My heart is pounding. Can't believe I just did that. Can't believe I'm finally doing this. He comes out 20 minutes later. Backpack and a garbage bag full of stuff. I'll get the rest later, he says. I don't respond. He stands there, waiting for me to change my mind maybe. I don't. This is a mistake, he says. I think staying was the mistake. He leaves. Door slams behind him. I sit in the silence, waiting to feel regret or panic or something. Instead, I feel relief. Pure, overwhelming relief. It's over. He's gone. I don't have to pretend anymore. Don't have to make excuses. Don't have to carry dead weight. I'm alone. Actually alone now. Not pretending to be partnered. And it feels better. So much better. I check on River. He's sleeping peacefully. Doesn't know his father just left. Doesn't know anything changed. Tomorrow will be the same for him. Because Dante barely existed in his life anyway. I'll still do all the night feedings. Still do all the diaper changes. Still do everything. Exactly like I was already doing. Except now, I won't have to clean up after Dante. Won't have to budget for his beer and cigarettes. Won't have to ask for help that never comes. Won't have to manage my disappointment. Sit back down on the couch. Open my laptop. Look at those apartments again. The one-bedrooms. Fresh starts. Think about telling people, my family, my friends, admitting they were right, admitting I made a mistake. It's going to be humbling, humiliating even, but also freeing. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to maintain the narrative. I don't have to post curated pictures and vague captions. Can just be honest. I'm a single mother. The father of my child is useless. I chose wrong. And now I'm choosing different. Choosing better. For me and for River. My phone buzzes. Text from Dante. This is your last chance. To what? To keep supporting him? To keep accepting nothing? Lose my number. I text back. Then block him. Probably should have kept him unblocked for coordination about River. But honestly, he's shown zero interest in parenting. Doubt that's going to change now. He'll have to take me to court if he wants custody or visitation. Somehow, I don't think he will. Too much effort. Too much responsibility. I sit there in my quiet apartment. My son, sleeping in the next room. My life a mess, but also somehow clearer than it's been in months. I fucked up. I chose wrong. I let my pride and my narratives cloud my judgment. I rejected good men for bad reasons, chose a bad man for worse reasons. And now, I'm paying for it. But I'm also fixing it. Late, but not too late. River's only 6 months old. We have time. Time to build a better life. Just the two of us. Maybe eventually I'll date again. Maybe I'll find a real partner. Someone who actually shows up. Someone stable and boring and helpful. Someone who wants to be a father to River. Or maybe I won't. Maybe it'll just be me and River. And that's okay too. Better to be alone than to be with someone who makes you feel alone. I'm tired, exhausted actually. But it's a different kind of tired. Not the tired of carrying everything plus dead weight. Just the tired of carrying everything. It's still heavy. But it's manageable. I can do this. I am doing this. I already was. Now I just don't have to pretend I'm not. River will wake up in a few hours. I'll feed him, change him, rock him back to sleep, all by myself. Like I've been doing. Like I'll keep doing. But tomorrow, I'll also look at apartments. Start planning our move. Start building our actual life. Not the one I pretended to have. The real one. Messy and hard and honest. Me and my son, that's enough. That has to be enough. Because it's what I've got. And for the first time in months, I think it might actually be okay. Be me. 32-year-old feminist professor teaching Gender Studies 101. Have a PhD in intersectional feminist theory from an elite liberal arts college. Spent 7 years working on my dissertation about the patriarchal structures in refrigerator design. Yes, refrigerator design. You wouldn't understand the depth of my academic rigor. Finally have my dream job, teaching the youth about systemic oppression. Wake up this Tuesday morning feeling empowered as always. Do my morning affirmations in the mirror about smashing the patriarchy. Put on my favorite outfit, red flannel shirt, ripped jeans, Doc Martens. Have about 17 different pins on my messenger bag about various social causes. Drive my Subaru to campus, listening to my podcast about deconstructing masculine toxicity. Arrive at my office, which is covered in inspirational quotes from feminist icons. Have at least 40 posters about checking your privilege. Check my email and immediately get triggered by the department head using guys as a gender-neutral term. Draft a 17-paragraph response about microaggressions, but save it as a draft. We'll send it later after I've added more academic sources to really drive the point home. Gather my materials for today's class. Today we're discussing how everything men do is actually problematic. To have my lesson plan perfectly organized to show how male achievement is built on oppressing women. Walking to class, feeling confident because I'm changing minds and educating the next generation. This is my 3rd year teaching, and I've never had anyone seriously challenge my worldview. Most students just nod along and agree because they want good grades. Some of them actually seem to drink the Kool-Aid, which is great. Get to my classroom 15 minutes early as always. Write on the board in large letters, all men benefit from patriarchy, whether they know it or not. Students start filing in. I count them with